everybody. I'm doing a session for a client. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one for a psychic session, I put a link in the description to my website. This is a follow-up session, so I'm going to go ahead and read the goals and get started. Okay, Abbey, I have to get this off my chest. It has been hinted a few times during our sessions, and especially at the last one, in regards to the demonic fat being at the sacral and heart area. And I've held this talk off for a while now, just because of how embarrassed I felt toward it. And I'm getting teary just writing this out, but it has to stop, and that is what I want. This being has been around since the drug addiction started. However, I wonder how long it has been around for, possibly even further. I don't know. What I do know is there is a sense of relief as I say this. Maybe that's the realization that was needed for me to speak. Let's do a session on this, and it could be helpful for the whole collective as well. Yeah, totally. I'm really proud of you. It's so relieving just to acknowledge there's something to this. I don't know why it could be so hard at times to really face that. A big fat demon, right? But when you choose to, when you say you're ready, when you say there's something to this, it's setting yourself free, really, truly. So thank you so much. I'm very excited to explore this and give you a new sense of self and a sense of freedom. And thank you very much for sharing this openly and for just everything. So I'm going to relax now and get tuned in here. It's been a pleasure working with you, and it's just incredible to see how free, how transformed, how empowered you're becoming. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And I've learned so much from your sessions as well. It's just wonderful to connect with you. Okay. Okay. So the first thing that I feel and experience, I'm moving through a blubbery environment, and it's literally kind of blubbering around me as I'm kind of pushing my way through it. And it's squishy, it's kind of a jello-y material, but it's firm enough, like I don't squish my fingers through it. It's an orangish color. And there's a lot of resistance here. Like I'm moving forward, but it sends a signal that it's behind me. So the direction that I'm going is actually away from it instead of towards it, but that's incorrect. That's avoiding. It's creating an illusion as though I'm going the wrong way when I'm going the right way. So it's making it difficult or tricky in how this is going to be faced and truly released. So okay, there are a lot of beings supporting this process, and I'm actually having to stop for a minute, and I'm just paying attention to my surroundings, not just the way they look, but the way they feel. Do you ever find that it's like this demon is really, oftentimes, the reality is everything is a reflection of ourselves, or it's a mirror in order to see ourselves, see into ourselves. So this demon then too is a part of who you are, okay? And this part of who you are doesn't want to be faced, it wants to be avoided. And there's a complexity to this, which is why there's all this help, this support here, saying, hey, we're here to support this. We're here to shift these energies right alongside you. Because this is a major rebirth going on. You are going through a major rebirth. You don't need this. This doesn't relate anymore. But part of the hard part, okay, about being human and now becoming a new human is we don't understand what that is. So how are we supposed to go from, I know this, I feel and I relate to and I understand this way of being, I'm afraid of these and insecure about these things. Now suddenly you don't need any of that anymore. How in the world are you supposed to interpret and understand a reality without all that other stuff in it? So in a way, we hold on to our identity. We hold on to these memories. We hold on to the past even when we're ready to let go. We don't understand who we are without it. And if we don't understand who we are without it, then how are we going to truly be able to let it go? That's why it's hard to do these rebirths, because you're going to be somebody you've never met before, which was actually more who you are than you've ever been. You just needed all of these fears in the way and these insecurities along the path in order for you to avoid being your true self. But what we all want is to be our true self, but believe it or not, we're all in a way terrified of our true self. But what is terrified of it? Is it our soul afraid of our true self, or is our ego? You know? And so we're kind of working through the complexity of being human and being spirit and interdimensional and all of that. But this is part of the message to help you understand that this is a big event. This is a really big deal. And I have to pay attention, because it's not so much the demon that I have to really find it. You know, I got to hunt this demon down. No, it's more like I have to understand your totality. I have to understand everything that's going on here, and understand all these amazing beings just as in acknowledging and feeling their energy presence here, understanding what this is all about, so I can relay the information to your conscious mind, but then we can do this process, right? So yeah, okay, so the addiction was, again, I mean, plainly put, it was a perfect excuse. It was a perfect problem to have, to help you avoid ever finding out who you truly are. So if you're, if you're neck deep in an addiction, you're stuck in an addiction. How are you going to get out of this one? It's a comfort zone for your ego. So now you don't have to really face who you are, face yourself. Because trust me, the angel within you is really blinding bright, and that's going to overwhelm your ego. It's like your soul is so, in a way, ego is it's like, who do you think you are? You know, you're so bright, so beautiful. You know, it's like trying to muddy up your angelic self, but we get kind of lost and confused in what's real and what's illusion, what's ego and what's our true soul energy, you know? So ego gets like, it's not infinite. It's just a finite expression. It's just a finite thing. So gets jealous. You could say that. So it's like trying to deflect you. It's trying to create situations where you're avoiding being yourself, and therefore then you're under the boot of of ego, which now has power over you, has power over this incredible light, this incredible angel within itself. It's terrified to look into its own reflection. You see how interesting it all is? So we really need to solidify the truth here that you don't need the addiction anymore. I mean, we definitely need to solidify that. But it's quite interesting, because without the addiction, you're going to be introduced to yourself. And it takes energetic time to adapt to a new energy flow. It's that case with anything. Like, you want to start a diet, or you want to fast, or you want to start a new exercise routine. It's like your body's like, ugh, why are you doing this to me? No, you don't need to give up ice cream. You need ice cream. No, you need food. Why are you starving me? Like, so you have like your body repels these actions. You know, it takes time to tell your body, I'm serious about this. I am serious about this, and you need to get in the zone with me. You know. So we're telling your body, we're telling the energies, we're telling this demon, we're telling all of this, okay, that you're serious, that you don't need the addiction anymore, you're serious. That is true, that this demon is attached to your addiction, okay? It's basically telling you that you aren't serious, that you aren't strong enough yet. And it's very much so in your throat. It's very much so in your solar plexus, your heart, and your sacral chakra. I mean, it's a part of all your chakras, but like immediately these ones are like bing, 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 like me, right now, me, you know. So they're kind of saying these chakras here. I'm just standing here. I mean, I'm just like, not, I don't need to say anything because all we need to do is just stand here, stand our ground. It's like, okay, say whatever you want. We're still standing here. We're still standing our ground. Addiction is not needed anymore. This is disorienting on that energy. It's getting it's literally getting disoriented. It's getting dizzy. It's crying. It's suffocating. I mean, you're killing this demon. You terrible person. You decide to stand up against addiction. You decide to say, I'm not doing this anymore. And now you terrible person, you are suffocating and killing your attachment to this addiction. You're killing it. The demon's like, why are you doing this to me? You're killing me. It's like the Wicked Witch of the West when she gets the water poured on her, like, no. And it's like, are you killing it, the addiction, or was it just kind of an energetic, like an energy beacon, like an energy node that kind of developed its own personality and its own reason for being? But it never really was a demon, and it never really was, like, it just was an energy that kind of globbed out of control, and it became kind of like you are under the boot of it, then you have control over what you want in this life. So I just see this as energy substance that is dissolving, and it's losing its consciousness. It doesn't have power at all. It never really was a demon. It was the perfect tool for you. And because what's interesting about these situations is you put yourself neck deep in the hole of addiction, right? Avoiding seeing into who you truly are. However, when you get out of that hole, you have access to yourself, and it's almost like we have to go into the rut, get out of the rut in order to give ourselves permission for some reason to see that side of who we are. Why can't we just see that side of who we are? Because for some reason the human being needs to go downhill and then overcome the challenge or the insecurity, and now have access to that information, that access to that part of their own light. For some reason, the human being has to go through all these weird doorways and pathways and disabilities, like disabling experiences, get out of the disabling experience in order to truly set themselves free. Why can't we just have that? Why can't we just awaken to it? Why does it have to be so hard? But you have pulled the power back into yourself. So now I see this energy that was just like the Wicked Witch just got the water. It's like it just dissolved into just a blubbery energy that has no consciousness, that has no power, because it's just energy. And it's actually kind of a weird energy skin, and it's pulling back inside of you. And it always was a part of your soul to begin with. You're reclaiming your soul, reclaiming yourself. That's a really big statement, isn't it? That's really cool. I don't know why, but I keep thinking about like cheeseburgers and fries, but it's like a really, like a diner with friends and milkshakes, and like it's a really fun memory with friends, and there's food involved, and it just feels very connected, and there's laughter, and it's very wholesome. It's very like teenagery and fun and the free spirit of life and living. And it's food, it's nurture, and it's nurturing of the teenager soul, and it's food, like it's nourishment. I mean, there's something of your inner child, but it's like an older inner child, like a teenage inner child energy that is having fun now, like the old-fashioned way. Like this teenager version of you is having fun the old-fashioned way, and it's actually real fun. It's real fun. It's real connection with friends. It's like a 50s diner. There's no cell phones. There's bicycles. There's the old-fashioned way, old-fashioned fun. You feel like you've learned something very profound. You can't understand all the nooks and crannies of this profound learning, but you feel it like rumbling through your soul, like you feel it, and you feel just accomplished, extraordinarily accomplished. And it makes you break down, and you're thankful, and you're thankful for yourself and to yourself for having the strength to overcome this. That you're thankful for all the support and helping you overcome this. Like there's so much gratitude, and your tears just stream down, and you're just so grateful. And it's breaking down an incredible structure, like an energy, a hardened energy structure is breaking it down, like made out of wood, like you were in a wooden crate or something. Like I see all these wood pieces breaking and snapping, and it's all falling apart, and you don't need to be inside of this anymore. You are set free. It's huge. It's language will never be able to define how extraordinary this is on the energy side of things, how wonderful and exciting and amazing this is to see this happening for you. So they're kind of talking about working with the epiphanies, working with this very positive energy. It's kind of like, how will I know myself when I'm reborn, like in the resistance of accessing more of our true light, and the weird processes that we go through. But this rebirth, you can sense it, because it's like full of this feeling of so proud of yourself. It's full of this feeling of so much light and so much love and so much like gratitude streaming down in the tears. So thankful, so conquered, so strong, that everything makes sense, that everything is understood, and the meaning and the reasons for why it had to be exactly like this. And it all comes to you, and it circulates at the center of your heart, and you just know. You just simply know. And it's freaking wonderful. Like it's an incredible achievement. And that's the new you. The new you is this proud of yourself, this free. You did it. You conquered this very impossible lesson. You did it. And you're regaining yourself. Oh my God. This is huge. This is huge. So are all these beings here to support, or are they here to freaking celebrate? You know what I mean? Like, yes, they're here to support, to show you they're here. But now as we see this through to the other side, they're freaking cheering, and they're glowing bright, and they're so proud of you. They're like, here as family, you did it, you made it. And they're just like cheering and surrounding you with all of this happiness and love and light. And it's like, oh my God, so great. Just a minute. There's something new. It's a little vulnerable. It's kind of the ego catching up, which is fine. It's part of, it's like this need for when things go like so high vibe. It's like this need for like almost disoriented, it's almost like I don't deserve it, it's kind of like a clashing other energy, other like feeling like I have everything. but why do I have everything? So it's like this opposing negative feeling about something that's so good. And why in the world does it have to have that? It doesn't. But for some reason it does. So I'm just allowing that to be felt, and I'm just supporting in that feeling so that ego can digest and catch up and everybody can be on the same page, okay? Because this is like really seriously a big deal, okay? It's really a big deal. All right, that like residue energy is not there. But I feel like there's still layers to the path. Like you're going to be introduced to things. I don't understand it fully yet, but there's a standing up. There's a knowing in the heart, knowing within oneself of the achievement, and you're up to speed now with these new pair of shoes. And all the tears of gratitude and all the rejoice has been felt throughout your being. So you don't need to stay in that energy forever, because you're caught up with it and you're ready for the next things. That's how souls are. They're just like, I just want to be happy forever. You did it. You were happy forever, and now you need another thing. Like the soul just like keeps wanting to have new experiences. So So I see you standing, and the energy is still like kind of an orangish color. And there's like these thin fabrics of energy, and it's just like a thin fabric here and another thin fabric behind that one, and then another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. And these are quite easy to move through, but you want to investigate them. So you touch the first thin fabric. I mean, you are empowered here. You are carrying the infinite celebration in your heart, and you are caught up with it, and you're in a new pair of shoes, and you're moving forward. So the celebration is forever in your heart. Okay, that's so cool. Now you're touching, you're kind of analyzing and touching this first fabric here. What is going on with your fingers? It's like you're touching it, but you're not feeling it. You're looking at it, you're investigating it, you're not really feeling it for some reason. But you're not even fully aware of that yet. See, this is like this makes me think of you as you as having like developing a ability, okay, healing ability. This is coming up a lot right now. People awakening, people going through this emotional month of March and having these like profound blessings happening right around spring. And it's like awakening. It's like psychic level stuff. And I see you touching these fabrics, like this first one. And it's like you are touching it with what you perceive as your hand, but you're not touching it with your heart. And this is what a healer learns how to do. In order to touch energy, you had to touch it with your heart. You could use your hand as a tool, because your human self is going to make sense of that. So even in the energy world, I use my hand, even though I don't need a hand in the energy world. I'm just consciousness. I'm like literally not even a body. I'm just like a consciousness. But my human self appreciates that. So it is what it is. And so there's the touching of the fabric, but I feel a presence with it. I feel and experience the meaning of it. If we just touch something, then we don't really understand the depths of what that is. And so there's a development here of you learning how to touch things with your heart and translate the meaning back into your heart and through your soul, and then be aware. Now, be aware. It's like an epiphany, a psychic epiphany. You are still resisting, like, let me just stay with it for a minute here. I ask you if you're ready to actually feel now. Are you ready to feel now? This brings up a whole can of worms for you, because your feelings have been challenged. You could say, I see a can of worms appear, and it's like, I gotta use my feelings. Like, I don't want my feelings to get hurt, kind of thing. My feelings have been hurt before. And that's the next thing to repair, is how your feelings have been hurt, because that doesn't exist in the present. We're done with that. That's old stuff. It doesn't even exist. Like, you could say it will exist forever, but we've transmuted it, right? Or we still need to transmute it. But you have to make a decision to say that it is transmuted, and anything that says that it's not, I'm ready to look at that, hug that, and then bring that energy back into myself so I can feel even more whole and more a part of my own light, having access to my totality. You just don't allow yourself to feel still. It's like your hands are numb. I'm not allowed to tell you what this fabric means yet. Because I'm just like, oh, shall I give it a try? We'll see what it is together. They're like, no. I got to encourage you to tap into your own feelings, and to translate this from your heart. And it's a psychic thing. We're getting there. No wonder you took the path of addiction. Because this is taking your strength to a level that we aren't really taught in the human world, that we are like masters of the universe. We're kind of in a state where we don't realize our full potential and the power of who we are. We feel like it can be done to us, but there's not much we can do in return. That could be a common theme here. A lot of people feel like they don't have any power, so they ask God for help, but they don't realize that they have all the power in the palm of their own hands, because they already are God. Like, you can help yourself. I run into the conundrum of, what's the point of constantly helping myself if I'm in a world full of people? Why can't I get to know all the other gods that are here and then receive help from them? So it's like, it's all like, how are you opening up to the world? How are you choosing to receive the world? But also, sometimes you got to go on the path of self-discovery here. And you have the power in your own hand. It's all in the power is in your own hand, especially when interacting with the spirit realm. So choose to be aware that you can read this energy. You just don't want to give yourself the power to say the truth. You would rather break yourself down until you can't get yourself out of that, and then you never had to prove that to yourself, how truly incredible you are. From the level of heart, not the level of ego. You are incredible through your heart's infinite potential, infinite power, right? But your ego is a finite power. It's an illusionary power. And you're kind of, it's like you are resisting coming into the power of your own heart, because you are still working with the power of your mind's perception, and how the world then can take that power away from you, and etc. The types of situations we get ourselves in working with our mind. So I'm just closing my eyes, and I'm helping you to feel that your hands are warm. It really particularly shows me your right hand. I try to show both hands, but it's your right hand. I tell you, it's safe to feel now. It's absolutely safe, like, to legitimately feel the fabric and to understand what this fabric means. There's still this kind of resistance in your heart, but it is acknowledged. It is acknowledged, this this inspiration to go beyond just how you're processing this human world, how you're translating it on a psychic level, how you are empowering yourself, how you have the power in your own hand, literally in your own hand, to translate the meaning of something beyond this human world. It's really exciting. This orangish color is turning golden. And it feels like it's the fabric of possibilities. And there's so many fabrics of possibilities. And they're all ready for you to reach your hand out and touch them. And to discover what this means, to translate it from your heart. To feel about it. To feel about it. And you're starting to relax more. There's still work to do here because your hand is choosing, you are choosing, but there is a kind of a delay in understanding how to accomplish this fully. Like, okay, my hand is touching it. I am choosing to be aware that I can translate this meaning, that I can feel it, that I have the power of a healer in the palm of my hand even. But there's still a bit of a delay or a resistance. So it's not being fully processed yet, but the choice to do this, the choice to acknowledge your capacity, your ability, is definitely here. It's really cool. I'm touching your throat chakra, and I'm touching your sacral chakra, and I'm touching your heart. I'm touching your third eye, your solar plexus, your crown, your root. And you're smiling. And you're ready for new things. And you feel you're getting caught up with yourself and taking steps forward that are new to you. And it's exciting. It's really exciting to feel the presence of so many family members as well. Spirit guides, angels, soulmates, alien beings, all that good stuff. All here to support you. It's wonderful. It's kind of interesting because I see this ring of love and it's all turning golden, and it looks kind of like a crown because there's different heights of these people, and it's a circle and it's all golden. So anyway, it's all coming together and it's like a crown being placed upon your head, and it's giving you access through your third eye and crown chakra, giving you access to your spiritual family, soul family, galactic family, all that. You're smiling, like you're glowing. You feel free. You feel good. You feel fresh. I'm so excited for you. Wow. Thank you so much for this experience. This was a lot of fun today, and I'm really just so blown away by how far you've come and how much you've grown It's an achievement, like a huge triumphant achievement to be able to conquer addiction. It's a big deal. And to regain yourself, oh my gosh, to start stepping into those new shoes and experiencing the world, approaching the world with new talents, even translating a spirit realm, an energy world through the palm of your hand, understanding the power that you possess within yourself and bringing that strength into your own stance. It's awesome. Thank you so much for this experience. Thank you for sharing with others. For those watching, if any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. Have a great day, everybody.